This is one of the easiest recipes. You just put everything in, jab tak karine, you fry it, job done. Hey super foodies, and welcome back to Cooking with Angeli. Today we are making one of my most favorite recipes. It is my super simple Shami Kebabs. This recipe is easy because it's made from all dry ingredients and it's also healthy. There's no oil in it, and I'm going to cook it two ways. I'm going to make it in the oven, and I'm also going to make it in the frying pan. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. Obviously the oven option is a little bit healthier, but the oven does take a little bit longer. And if you guys are as hungry as I am today, you want to just get started and get eating. So let's just get started. I'm going to start by adding all the dry ingredients to the bowl. There's our 500 grams of mince, and we're just going to add everything one by one. I've already measured everything out. The first thing I've got here is 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of kohlapuri masala, which is my favorite secret ingredient. It goes great in everything, from chicken to my vegetarian Gujarati Indian food, roast vegetables to scrambled eggs, to anything. It goes perfectly. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that. Next, I've got 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric.
The relax, non-wasting gem.
1 teaspoon of red chilli powder. Because the kohlapuri masala is quite spicy, I'm going to add just 1 teaspoon of red chilli. We're not actually going to add green chilli to this recipe. I've got here 2 teaspoons of garam masala, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt or garlic granules. If you're using garlic salt, you may not need to use cooking salt, so I would add the garlic salt first, potentially instead of normal salt. I've got 5 teaspoons of ground coriander and cumin powder, which we call dhana jiru. Next, I'm going to mix everything together, and I'm actually going to do this by hand. Oh, one thing I forgot, which is lemon juice. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that in. And now I'm going to mix everything by hand. You want to make sure that the mince is as evenly coated as possible. I'm actually using lamb mince that has 20% fat in it. So I'm not actually using lean mince. If you use lean mince, you might need to add a little bit of oil. I would add a teaspoon of rapeseed oil. There, it's pretty much all evenly coated. And now what we're gonna do is keep it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Because we're using lamb mince, the flavor absorbs into the mince really quickly compared to if we were using chicken or like lamb chunks. So I'd say the minimum 20 minutes. You guys can keep it longer, half an hour. Maybe overnight might be a little overpowering. I'm not actually going to cover this because it's only going to be in here for 20 minutes, and obviously I'm filming, so nobody's using the kitchen. But you guys can cover it with some cling film and pop it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Wash my hands. It's been about 20 minutes, and I've just taken this out of the fridge, and we're going to start to make our kebabs. I've got a baking tray here, which I've lined with some greaseproof paper very messily, and as I put it on, it will line into the tray. We're going to start with the kebabs that are going to go in the tray because they're going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to divide the mince in half. About half of the mince. That will be 250 grams. I'm going to roll it into a kind of sausage shape. This is what I find the easiest, to try and make them even. And then I'm going to take a fistful from the top, roll it into a ball, flatten it like a mini burger. Done. And I'm going to pop that inside there. You want them to be quite even in thickness. I'm going to try and make them as round as I can. These are extremely easy to make for a weeknight dinner, or if you're a student and you're living away from home, they're so quick. The more you handle the meat, it kind of makes it a little bit more softer, and so you can make the patties without cracks in them. So now we're going to pop them in the oven, and then I'm going to show you what we'll do with the rest of the mince. I'm going to cook them for about 20 minutes in the oven and then turn them over, and then I'll probably cook them for another 20 minutes. But I'm just going to keep an eye on them because they're so small and they're quite thin. We don't want them to overcook. My oven's been preheated and My oven's been set to 200 degrees C and I've already preheated it. Next, we're going to use the rest of this mince. I'm gonna make all the patties in advance and then I'm gonna fry them in the frying pan. I'm actually going to knead this a bit more because it's a little bit cold. We're doing the same thing again, sausage shape, a handful, shape it into a ball, flatten it like that, and just pop it to one side of the bowl. So you guys can serve this with near enough anything. I like to serve it with rice. You guys can serve it with plain rice. I've also got a jeera rice recipe, which I'll link in the description box below for you guys to try out. You guys can serve it with fries, or if you're looking to make it a little bit healthier, you can serve with salad or even couscous. I've got a couscous recipe, which I'll also link in the description box below for you guys. But I quite like to serve it with not just like a side, but also my dad's mint sauce recipe, which I'm hoping I'll be able to make and get out to you guys ASAP. It goes perfectly with these kebabs, it goes perfectly with lamb chop, chicken with fried rice, and it's cooling, but it has a bit of a kick to it. So I'm sure that you guys that love spice will enjoy it. We're ready to fry these. I'm going to be using this olive oil fry light because it's a little bit healthier and you don't need a lot of oil for this. If I feel like I need some more, I might use just a drop of rapeseed oil, but we'll just see how we go. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you'll know that I like to use as little oil as possible, so I only add if I need it. I don't start with a lot at the beginning. I'm gonna turn the heat down a bit. I'm using a non-stick pan. So I'm just gonna cook them through. I am gonna cover them for a couple of minutes, about 2 minutes. Hey, good. Set a timer for 2 minutes. So our 2-minute timer has just gone off. And yeah, you can see that the lamb mince has released a lot of the fat. I'm just gonna turn them over. They are cooking throughout. The reason I covered it is so that we don't lose the heat and so that the kebabs cook throughout. It smells really good. I'm just gonna cover them again for another 2 minutes. Okay, our timer's just gone off. These should be crispening on the bottom. I've been cooking them in total for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn the heat up and I want it a little bit crispy. I'm gonna cook it for another 2 minutes or so. They're pretty much ready to serve. I just wanna make them a little bit darker. Turn them all over. So I'm gonna turn off the heat and these are ready to be taken out. Drain them as much as I can. So I've just removed the kebabs from the oven and you guys can see how much oil has come out of these kebabs. I haven't even added a drop of oil to them. So I'm just gonna turn them over and then put them back in. So the kebabs have just, so our timer's just gone off and I'm gonna take the kebabs out of the oven. They are definitely done. So you guys can see I've served my pan-fried kebabs on this bed of couscous. I'm going to serve the oven kebabs on this bed of salad with a little bit of mint sauce. I've decided to go a little bit rustic with the plating here. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice on top of them both. This will help to moisten them a little bit, especially these ones that have been sitting here. Just add some mint sauce to these as well. As you guys can see, I left the N1 blank, and the reason for that is I didn't plan to do a taste test, but we might as well do one because I've made them both differently. I'm gonna start with this one because they've had a little while to cool. Just gonna break it in half. It's moist. The flavor's definitely there. It's really good. It's not very greasy either, so that one's good. We'll give this a go. It's still a bit hot. This one's good too. Flavor's definitely there. It's a little bit overdone, so it's a little bit drier, but I'm gonna be serving it with a mint sauce, so that's completely fine. I'd say it's overdone, but it's actually pretty crispy, so I like the texture of this one. But hey, I mean, you guys can make it. You guys decide which one you prefer. I like both, and I'd probably make it both ways going forward. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, share with your family and friends, and subscribe for future videos. Don't forget to press the bell icon. If you guys are interested in any of my tech or kit or kitchenware that I use, I'll leave a link to it down below, as well as my jeera rice and my couscous recipe. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.